Welcome to Red-tastic. Story 1. My 27 females, fiancé 28 male, and I have been dating for about 6 years now, and he proposed last year. We started planning a wedding almost immediately because we want to start our family soon. We're both stable in our jobs, we found a house and are working on a down payment, etc. Basically, we didn't see a reason to wait. So the date has been set for late September, and the venue will be able to support our large number of guests, around 200. My brother 25 male and his fiancée 24 female recently got engaged and have also started wedding planning. My future sister-in-law reached out and asked if she could talk to me about wedding planning. Thinking she wanted help choosing colors or something, I agreed. She basically asked me if I could get married in the afternoon and she could get married an hour or two later, and then we shared the reception. She pitched the idea as a great way to become sisters, and that she knows how close my brother and I are, and that this would mean the world to him. In reality, I know that they aren't financially well off, and she wants the fancy wedding without the fancy wedding price tag. They're both grad students, and I assume that she's a little jealous of the elaborate wedding that I have planned. I've been saving for this day for a long time. I didn't really know what to say, but managed to get out. But that's mine and fiancé's wedding. We planned it for us and wanted to be about us. She then exploded in anger and tears and said that I didn't understand how hurtful it was to see the amazing wedding I'm planning and know that she couldn't have something like that. She called me a selfish bitch and heartless. I told her I waited to get married so that I could afford the wedding I wanted. And she told me that she wants to get married before she's old and dried up like some people. Then I started crying and ran off to go home. I got a call from my brother later. He stated that while he was on board with sharing the wedding day, he's upset with future sister-in-law about how she approached it. He asked me to please reconsider that they would help pay for the extra guests, meaning her friends and family who I don't know. I was still hurt from her comments and told him that I didn't want to share my wedding day, and I wasn't even sure if I wanted future sister-in-law there for my wedding day. My brother quickly said goodbye and hung up. I haven't heard from him or future sister-in-law in a few days. Am I being selfish for wanting that day for fiancé and me? I feel bad that they don't have the funds right now, but I was in grad school at their age and couldn't afford to get married either. So I waited because I wanted a huge celebration to share with our family and friends. Thank you so much to everyone for the support and suggestions, and for sharing from your experiences too. I can't tell you how much it comforts and encourages me to keep planning mine and my fiancé's day just for us. We worked hard to make this day about us. Update. So we had the family sit-down meeting. I made this post prior to the meeting so that I would know if I was in the wrong or not, and therefore decide what I would say or do with my fiancé, brother, future sister-in-law, and our parents. Holy crap, I didn't think it could get any worse. We started talking and I explained that while I loved my brother, this day was supposed to be about fiancé and I would not be sharing the day with them, although they were still more than welcome to come. I also offered to donate some money. I got a nice bonus from work to their wedding fund. Brother agreed and thanked me profusely. Fiancé agreed. Mom and dad agreed, but future sister-in-law lost her mind. She said we were all being heartless for not supporting her and brother in this difficult situation. She got in my face and told me that she didn't even want to be a part of my shitty day because it obviously isn't a day about love if you can't show that you love me and your brother. I told her she was being unfair and she said, "You're being unfair, you greedy bitch," and slapped me in the face. She left after brother kicked her out of the house. I was stunned and crying. Fiancé and dad were livid, and my brother appeared to be questioning their engagement. Last update. Hi y'all, sorry to have been away so long, but things have been hectic following the incident. I'll try to summarize what's happened since as clearly as possible and clarify and answer questions if I'm not especially clear. After future sister-in-law slapped me and she left, my fiancé and I were obviously pretty upset for a day or two. Mom and Dad were too, but they were mostly shocked that she would do something like that. We immediately hired security for our wedding, selected passwords for our vendors, and actually moved our reception from an outdoor location to an indoor area. Same company, so no additional cost, so that it would be easier to keep track of who comes and goes. I also decided after reading many posts to reach out to my brother. I told him that what she did was inexcusable and that even if she apologized, I did not want her at my wedding day any longer. Brother was very upset and asked me to reconsider, but I told him that I would not sit here and take her disrespect and harassment over something that is technically not hers to be so upset over. So my brother got quiet and finally said, "I'm sorry she hurt you. I'm sorry all of this happened. I never meant for it to get this far." I could hear his voice breaking, and I told him I still loved him and just wanted what was best for him and to see him happy and healthy. So I wanted him to consider his options. He told me he was. Apparently, future sister-in-law was listening in, maybe, and so she called him spineless and some other horrible things. And I thought I heard her hit him. So I quickly grabbed my fiancé's phone and called 911 while staying on the line. Long story short, police arrived and arrested her. She claimed he hit her first. His injuries and our statements helped clear things up. He has called off their relationship, got a DVP, and is going to heal physically and then work on counseling. And we will, hopefully, never hear from her again. Thank you for all your kindness and support throughout the horrible time in our lives. The understanding my family has shown is so greatly appreciated, and it means the world how many people reached out personally to check on me. I cannot thank this community enough. You're so not the a-hole, OP, and I'm happy your brother has gotten rid of that bad mistake that he was gonna marry. Your ex-future sister-in-law was giving so many red flags. First, from being entitled to a wedding party that wasn't hers, then to being entitled to a wedding that wasn't hers even after you offered to pay some money to help set up their wedding. But no, she just wants to share your day and have your wedding with you. Let's not even talk about her being physically abusive. She's a walking red flag that needed to go. I'm so sorry your brother got assaulted. I'm happy he has left her, and I hope she never comes into your life ever again. Congratulations on your wedding, OP. Now for some comments. OP, your brother needs to consider that if his fiancée immediately turns to assault after being denied a, frankly, batshit crazy demand, what is she going to be like? If, say, you can't afford to buy something she wants, you guys will have a disagreement. Marriages can have challenges, but if her first impulse is to yell and slap someone for not getting what she wants, then your brother needs to think long and hard about what he'd be signing up for. Wow, I'm sorry to hear what your brother has gone through. It sounds like he was quietly under her thumb and being abused this whole time. Makes one wonder if he even wanted to marry her at all, or if he was being forced into it. Though completely inexcusable, it was almost a blessing that she was brazen enough to assault you, because it brought her behavior in the open and led to your brother getting the help it sounded like he needs. I hope he's able to heal fully in body and mind from this, and I hope she never hurts him or your family again. May you have a beautiful, trouble-free wedding and happy future. It may have very well been that this wedding drama triggered your brother's hopefully ex-fiancée and caused her to escalate and reveal abusive behavior that she had kept hidden. And it may have not been revealed until after she and your brother were married. Thank God that didn't happen. I don't know how similar DVPs are to TROs, but your brother may want to consider a permanent restraining order if his ex remains in the area for grad school. She's obviously dangerous. Thank you for taking the time to update in the midst of all this upheaval. I wish you and your family well and you move forward. Story 2. I'm a 29-year-old guy who finished residency 2 years ago, and I'm now a pediatrician making $160K plus. I got tired of being single for most of my life, so I downloaded a few dating apps and met this girl, 26, who works in customer service for a huge company about 9 months ago. We hit it off and officially became exclusive 3 months ago. Overall, she's a really great person, but there's a few things about her that bothers me. And I'm not really sure if it's normal or not because I've never really been in an actual serious relationship. I always pay for everything on dates. I know that I make more than her, and it doesn't necessarily hurt me to always pay, but she doesn't ever offer to pay or split the bill, and she just expects me to always pay. The first time she came over to my apartment, she was literally shocked. I live in a shitty one-bedroom apartment because I want to pay off my student loans as fast as possible, so I still basically live like a broke college student. She kept making comments about how I should move out and find a nicer place that suits a doctor. She wanted to introduce me to her family right away. I thought the relationship was too new to meet the parents, but she insisted. And when we went to their house, her parents only asked about my job and salary. When we went out and ran into someone she knew, she introduced me as a doctor boyfriend. These things, plus some other stuff, made me realize she doesn't really care about me, just that I'm a doctor. So I told her. She blew up, saying that I'm insulting her and calling her a gold digger, and that she's just proud of me for being successful. Am I the a-hole? Edit. Number 1. I wanted to clear something up. My apartment is not dirty. When I said I live in a shitty one-bedroom apartment, I just meant that it's really small. Poor wording on my part. Number 2. I agree with a lot of you that I let my frustrations build up and then I just accused her, instead of trying to talk to her. This is my first real relationship, so I have a lot to learn. Number 3. It's true that she doesn't ask me for money or for expensive gifts. I'm starting to think I was too quick to assume anything. Number 4. I did a dual enrollment program in high school that allowed me to graduate from college 2 years early, so that's why I'm an independent doctor at my age. I'm also turning 30 in a few weeks. 5. Thank you to everyone for your thoughts. I totally wasn't expecting this post to receive so many comments. Everyone sucks your OP. Her faults. Making your shitty apartment an issue because you're a doctor, not because you're an adult who deserves a nice home. Not respecting your boundaries on meeting her parents. Never treat you when you go out. If she makes significantly less, she can still pay 25% of the time. And have it be a better dynamic. Yours, not communicating how any of this bothered you until you couldn't take it anymore and lashed out. Respecting yourself means telling her you're not ready to meet a family and standing by it. It also means telling her you'd like to be treated once in a while, just because it feels nice. You could probably salvage this relationship if you're both willing to compromise and talk like adults. Now for some comments. Don't date someone who works in customer service while you're making 160K per year. And be shocked when you end up paying for everything. She is probably barely scraping by with her job. I don't know anyone in customer service who makes a decent living. What are her future aspirations? Does she also have big career plans? Just because she's making considerably less now doesn't mean it will always be like that. Not the a-hole. It appears you didn't even use the term gold digger, but rather your girlfriend inferred it hastily. Dump her. You can do so much better. In the future, don't tell potential partners you're a doctor. In fact, I would scrub my social media presence of any indicators if I were you. In theory, that will eliminate the vast majority of people who are only after your money and/or status. Just keep living that fire lifestyle. You're the a-hole. So what, she's proud of having a boyfriend who's a doctor? That doesn't make her a gold digger. And she doesn't like your broke college student-style apartment, which I imagine most girls wouldn't either. What kind of background does she come from? While it's rude that the parents asked about your salary, it's understandable that parents want their children to date someone successful. I make significantly more than my significant other, and I almost always pay for things on dates. We've had the conversation in the past, and while I know she would love to contribute more, she's not really in a position to do so.